So in a minute, I'm told we are going to be joined by the newest member of the Bellator MMA team. I think you may have heard of him. His name is Kimbo Slice, a.k.a. Kevin Ferguson. It was announced on Friday officially, but combatpress.com first broke the news late Thursday night, early Friday morning, so give them the credit. Breaking the news that Kimbo has joined forces with Bellator back on the Spike TV scene, and I'm being told from Mr. New York Rick himself that he is joining us on the phone right now, which is tremendous stuff. Kimbo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, what's up, man?
Long time no speak, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Well, congratulations on this. Honestly, did you ever think that you'd be back in, big time MMA? You haven't fought in MMA in almost 5 years. Did you ever think this was going to happen?
I knew, we were going to eventually get back into it, but on the playing field of Bellator, that I didn't expect. You know what I'm saying? So that right there was put a real big smile on my face. You feel me?
Yeah, I totally feel you. How long has this been in the works for? How long did you guys work on this?
Well, I gotta honestly leave that up to Mike and my guy, my manager, Icy Mike. Those guys been in bed for a little bit. No homo, but you know what I mean on the business tip.
Yes.
These guys been in bed for a little bit, trying to make this shit work for me.
So you never gave up on your MMA dreams, despite the fact that, you only fought, it was 5 years ago, you're getting older, of course we all do. You thought that you'd still get another shot in this sport.
Well, yeah, and the reason why, because, as the time went on, the shit started sticking to me, like grits. I mean, I would feel the roll. I would feel the sprawls. I would feel the arm bars. I would feel certain things, and just moving around, it started coming natural. The ground game became, it became natural, like second nature. Well, with the stand-up and just putting it together and doing boxing for X amount of years, for the last 3-4 years doing boxing, I always had that MMA has just been there, to throw a knee or to kick this dude in his head, but I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying?
So why did you stay away for so long? I mean, there are other promotions along the way. Did they ever come to you? Did they ever offer you big bucks? I mean, it's amazing to think that your last fight was in the UFC. That feels like decades ago now against Matt Mitrione. Why did you not jump back in there sooner?
It hasn't been that damn long.
It feels like a long time ago. I've gotten older. I've got 2 kids since then.
Well, yeah, we all plant some seeds here and there. I mean, I guess it just took its time. You know what I mean? We didn't want to rush nothing. I wasn't like reaching out to anybody. A couple of things did come across the table, but I was like, we just didn't pay no attention because I was into boxing and I wanted to do one thing at one time.
So how did the boxing career go, and are you still interested in being a boxer? Because I know you haven't fought in 2 years.
I'm actually signed with Gary Shaw, Showtime Production.
Yep.
I'm still signed with him, and my record is right. It's currently 7-0.
Correct.
It's paying the bills. I like getting in there. I have fun with it, but it's not like MMA.
But you haven't competed in boxing in 2 years' time. So are you still?
Yeah, about a year. The 13th. Right. January. Made it 2 years.
Right. Gary Shaw just teamed up, or he was essentially, taken over by Rock Nation. Is there a chance you'll appear on one of their cards?
Right. We were supposed to do something with those guys, but other things, came up in the making for us.
So what have you been doing in the last 5 years? Like, how do you spend your time, other than the boxing?
Gym when time allows it. Working, still doing my personal bodyguard and security with my company. And in the gym as much as I can possibly be without, messing up my timing and everything. But now that I'm with Bellator, this is first nature. This is my first job. This is, it's every day in the gym, every other day in the gym, going over everything technically.
I saw a picture of you recently at the American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Florida. Will that be your gym? Is that the place that you'll be preparing for this Bellator debut?
Yeah, ATT, that's home. That's home base. You got a lot of, the top tier fighters in the world out of there. And I couldn't be at a better place.
So Scott Coker was just on our show moments ago, and he told us that 200 people have called him up asking for you, but he doesn't have an opponent just yet. Who do you want to fight in your Bellator debut?
I'm not sure. I don't even know who was there right now as heavyweights, right now. But shit, anybody's just feed me. I'm ready to be fed.
You were looking very svelte in these pictures I saw of you. Maybe the beard is a little trimmer. Is there a chance you fight at 205?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a serious weight to cut. I walk around like at 240 to go down 35 pounds. I'm not sure about that. It all depends. If those numbers are right, it can be done.
In the back of your mind, would you like Bellator to sign Petruzelli so that you can get another crack at him and put that fight to bed?
I'm sure they would. They should.
Yeah.
I would love to. I owe that dude one.
Is that something that still eats at you?
Say it again?
Is that something that still eats at you? Everything that happened October 4th of 2008?
For the nature of it, you know what I'm saying? There's no, I could complain all day long on this and that. But, it just went down the way it went down. But goddamn, I owe him one.
Yes, you'd like that.
Yeah.
Anyone else that comes to mind that you'd love to fight?
They could put Tito on that car, on that plate too.
Oh, Tito.
For sure.
That would do some pretty big numbers, I would imagine.
I got a pick with that fella, man.
What's your problem with Tito?
Ain't no problem with him yet, but, from back in the Strike Force days, I was hearing a little shit about him, calling me out and talking shit about me. So, yeah, we could definitely put that in the making.
And you have no problem with his wrestling? You feel like you're okay?
Listen, he got to have a problem with my hand game.
Have you evolved as a fighter? Do you feel like you're a lot better than when we last saw you compete in MMA?
I know I have. Like I said, rolling with these guys and being put in awkward positions over the years, it just took time that's what it was. I was just too young back then. I was like a bull. I was just headstrong, running in there, ready to just toot my horns around. But now, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot more tools to work with. You know what I'm saying? I would like to be tested on the ground. I would like for a motherfucker to come in there trying to test me to see if they're going to try to get me down and they get caught with something. That's what I would be looking for. A guy to come in and try to take me straight to the ground. Yeah, go for it.
And, I haven't spoken to you in so long. I've always wanted to ask you this. Were you surprised you never got another shot in the UFC? At the end of the day, you were 1-1. Were you surprised you weren't given that third crack?
Well, you know how the UFC are. They're a pretty tough organization. I'm sure I could have gotten another square deal. But for the nature of it, I don't know why they did what they did. But that's can't say nothing bad about them. I think thank God for everything that's happened to me in my career. It just makes me more hungrier. To keep on trying to dig for gold.
You're about to turn 41, so happy early birthday. How's the body holding up?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great. I'm doing great. I was just telling my wife, I want to put like another 2 kids out here in as well.
2 more?
So, yeah, man, I'm ready to have some more babies.
How many do you have now?
I have 3 boys, 3 girls right now.
Wow. Wasn't one of your boys a football player?
Yeah, one of them is a ball player. He actually is in school right now.
How's he doing?
Pursuing his criminal justice career.
Oh, wow. So no more football.
I'm not sure. I leave that up to him. It's his life he got to live.
And any of them express any interest in being a fighter?
My oldest, but he's in San Fran working out right now, training. Every time I talk to him, he has a fight coming up.
Oh.
But the fucker haven't seen him have one yet. So you know how that is. You just got to keep training until you feel like you're ready.
And what's it like for you walking down the street? I mean, do you still feel as popular and as beloved? I mean, when you came on the scene, you remember it. It was unbelievable stuff, breaking records on national TV. Do people still notice you? You have a very recognizable face and a look. Is it the same?
It's funny you said that, Ray. We still communicate with a lot of fans on social media. I still have over 2 million fan base following. We got something that we're working on Skits TV right now that I'll be able to communicate more with my fans. And I still get a lot of love out there.
2 more things I want to ask you, and then I'll let you go. And I really appreciate the time, Kimbo. It's great to catch up with you. Do you ever look back at that time with Elite XC and say, man, maybe they pushed me a little too much. They put too much on my shoulders. It wasn't right. And now with Bellator, it won't be the same. There are a lot of big names. You can be a part of a whole thing. The whole company doesn't fall on your shoulders. Do you see the differences there? And do you kind of regret the way it was done back in Elite XC?
Like I was saying, Ariel, man, I don't want to think that much. I like to keep keep shit basic, basic, you know, like simple. I'm not sure, and I'll have to really put that in some thought and get back to you on that answer. But you know, everybody does what they do. Bellator is huge. You know, not one person don't literally have to carry the company, but as a whole, as fighters as a whole, you know, we come together as a whole to promote and help build and make ourselves better, make the company better. And you know, the fans are the ones that connect with each individual fighter. For some reason, there's something about us that everyone out here in this world can relate to, and that's what makes the fights interesting. That's what makes the fans want to see us more. You know, want to watch us and tune in.
How many more years do you want to do this for?
I mean, until the body can't go no more. You know, I'm in it for the long haul.
Okay. And then my last one is, you know, what do you say to those people who scoff at this? Oh, Kimbo Slice, he hasn't fought in 5 years. He shouldn't get this opportunity. What do you say to the haters out there who are kind of rolling their eyes at this news?
Yeah, we need the haters. I mean, even though they are haters, they're gonna have their own comments. But at the end of the day, we know it's love. You know, we give them something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We give them something to bet on. You know, we give them something to have something to say about. It's good barbershop talk. It's good fashion talk.
Yep.
You know, it's good communication. It's good for communication.
Yeah,
I like the haters.
No one produced that more than you. You know, I got to say, your voice sounds great. You seem to be in a very good place. You seem very content, very happy, very excited. Perhaps less pressure on you. It's really a pleasure to talk to you again, Kimbo, after all these years. And by the way, I never said this to you, but why not right now, since you're restarting your career? I always appreciated you giving me some time as a youngster coming up in the game. You're always very kind to me, and I really appreciate you coming on the show here on short notice to talk to us. So best of luck to you. Congratulations on signing with Bellator, and thanks again for giving us a few minutes of your time.
All right, Errol. Thank you, man. Thanks for everything as well.
All right, there he is, Kimbo Slice. How about that? Last minute. You never know who's going to pop up here on the MMA Hour. Great stuff, and I appreciate everyone involved in Team Kimbo and, of course, Bellator as well for hooking us up. Kimbo Slice, about to be 41 years old. There was nothing like it when he came onto the scene with Elite XC. I'll never forget being in attendance at the Prudential Center in Newark when he fought James Thompson, the network debut of mixed martial arts. That was a crazy event. Afterwards, Brett Rogers campaigning for the fight, going back and forth. And now here we are. What was that? That was 2008. 2008. 7 years later almost. Still relevant. Back in the scene. And Bellator kind of surprising a lot of people by bringing him back. But that's what they want to do. That's their MO. They want these names that are going to bring the older fans who may not be following MMA as much. Everyone knows Kimbo Slice. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have been asked, where is Kimbo? Do you remember Kimbo? Whatever happened to that guy, the Street Fighter guy, the YouTube guy, the guy with the beard? He resonated with people. He struck a chord in many casual fans, and I'm sure Bellator looking to reignite that interest once again. So they have signed Kimbo Slice, Kevin Ferguson back on the scene, hoping to make his debut in the summertime. Opponent TBD, but that should be an interesting story to follow. We appreciate him stopping by very much. I understand he was just listening to the show and thought, you know what? I need to speak to Ariel. Isn't that the case, Mr. New York Rick?
Yeah, I think
that's what he said, right?
We've got the fans watching worldwide, and Kimbo's in that group.
Yeah, how about that, Kimbo Slice? All right, well that was a lot of fun and good work getting him on short notice. I know that was all you, sly bastard, you.
I'm not going to take all the credit.
You should,
but I'll take all the credit.
Fair enough. All right, let's go inside the vault. How about that? I was waiting for an amen. Yeah, how about that? Nothing. Just a smile. All right, I'll take it.